welcome. I'm John, and this is the Dusty Hobo channel. Thank you for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to go over the steps to lubricate the swing arm bearings in the 2014 V Strom 650. This is similar for many bikes. Not exactly the same, but very similar. So whatever you ride, it might apply to you. Let's get started and see how it goes. To begin with, need a 15/16 or the equivalent in metric. I forget what it is. It takes the nut loose from the rear axle. A number 12 socket takes the speed sensor out. I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the chain adjuster some. Push the wheel forward. I'm doing the other side right now. The axle up. I put a pair of vice grips on the other side that was hard to get a socket on and came around to the easy side. And there's a 12-headed bolt back here. Instead of taking the oxygen sensor wire loose, I'm just going to unthread it and lift it out. And take this cover off the bottom of the ABS unit. I just got to push these push clips in and remove those. There's a bolt right here. Get this thing off. Pull this out. It's right under the heat shield guard. It's right there. On my rack over there, that let go when I did that. I had no idea. Now I can fix that. Good. Go ahead and pull this luggage off the side. It's just hindering me getting the exhaust loose. It's gonna be a lot of pieces and parts. Okay. There's the exhaust. I went ahead and took the 2 Allen screws out of this front pipe that push it up into the bottom of this front cylinder head. And that was the key. I somehow pictured in my mind it would slide out of there, but just the geometry of it wouldn't allow it to. Got the bike sitting on some blocks, and now it's time to remove the center stand. There you go. Off that comes, and there's your center stand. The next thing to remove is the dog bones. It's a 17 on the right side of the bike and a 14 on the left. Got this fancy spanner socket that goes right in there. This nut has very little torque on it, this outer nut. How this dude comes out. Looks like it's coming out fairly smoothly. Slide under that. And this will slide down through there. There's the swing arm. It's time to look in here and see what we got going on. At this point, I'm just wiping out the bearings with a paper towel after removing the inner bearing collars. Do all of them, pack plenty of good quality grease in there. When you're done with the little cam, move on to the swing arm and do all those. And put it back together. If it's not crusty and rusty inside, you're good to go. As long as you get plenty of good quality grease in there, that's the main thing, and wipe it out. I wouldn't recommend washing this with solvent as it's not needed. Again, just a good wiping out with a clean rag is all you really need to do. I've got the swing arm up in there. It's back inside the frame, and the chain's here, and the shock is in place. I never took the top bolt out of the shock. The shock just stays in. The swing arm will fit down underneath it, no problem. This jam nut over here, I got to hold the other side and torque this one 76 foot-pounds. This has to move smoothly. This one here is 65 foot-pounds. There we go. We got that through, and there's a washer, a little stainless washer on each side. It's a whole lot more enjoyable to put this thing back together than it was to take it apart. That one, and that one. Fastener is 36 foot-pounds. These dog bone nuts are 56 foot-pounds. Okay. 56 foot-pounds into the little cushion cam. Time to put the exhaust back on. There's a gasket up in there. Now, mine doesn't look horrible, so I'm going to take a swing at reusing it. And if I have to, I will get a new one. I'm going to wipe it out real good. It wasn't the threads in the head. It was the threads on the bolt that were dirty. And so I'm going to go ahead, and I did the right one. I'm going to do the left one just since it goes in nice and smooth. Okay, I'm gonna get a shot of putting the exhaust back on. I've got the front of the exhaust right there where it's almost ready to go in, and I slid this pipe in at that point. And the back one, let me shine a light up in here. It started, I'm not sure if the camera is going to get that very well. Pull it up in here, there it goes. Now you got your 2 bolts here, your 2 bolts here, and the 1 bolt here. I'll go ahead and start these and tighten them up. Like I said, these here, the only thing I can say about these is don't crank them down with the wrath of God. About this, the exhaust, that if you're not feeling good about it, that'll get you in trouble if you over tighten these. Well, I left you where I was finishing up on the exhaust system. The bike went together well, no exhaust leaks, everything came out good. I didn't include the center stand because a lot of these bikes don't have a center stand. I didn't include putting the brackets on because that's completely different, especially my Rig Me brackets on this bike, and the way I've clamped these cases on is just weird. Anyway, it works for me, and it was fairly inexpensive. If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments, and I'll get back with you. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed, those who have left me a comment, and gave me a big thumbs up. Thank you very much. If you would, consider subscribing to the channel for more great motorcycle content. Other than that, I'll see you out on the road or in the next video. Dusty Hobo, over and out.